Testing the microphone. I think we're good, baby. Let's get it. This is nice. Am I right? Am I right? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Greetings. Hello. What's up? 4 days ago, I PR'd in the half marathon. I ran a 1:46.22. Super stoked about that. The goal was 150. We absolutely crushed that. I'm gonna take that win and I'm gonna hold on to that win for a long time. I felt convicted and called to make this video because while I do this stuff for myself and to inspire and motivate people, I also want to help you guys accomplish your goals. If you have a race that you want to PR, or you have a race or anything in life that you're trying to accomplish a goal towards, I want to make a video helping inform people and helping people reach their full potential, because I know it's something that would have helped me when I was first starting off racing and all that stuff. I'm not the #1 racer in the entire world, but I have a little bit of experience under my belt, and I'm super happy that I have that experience, and I'm super grateful that I've had great coaches. Actually, I'm gonna say great coach. Jeff, you're amazing. You're awesome. Thank you so much for really getting me to where I need to be and teaching me what I need to know so that I can take this passion and this dream that I have and continue to take it with me. Step number 1 about the race, I'm going to kind of talk about why I raced this race. So I raced the A1A half marathon in Fort Lauderdale. This race originally was not even my race. I was reached out to by a friend of mine asking me to pace him. That was a huge honor for me. I was super stoked that someone in my life thought of me in that way to be able to pace them. Super grateful for that. Unfortunately, some unforeseen circumstances happened and my friend did have to pull out of the race. Super sad. This feeling led to me wanting to go out there and absolutely rip it. I said to myself, this was not my goal originally, but my goal originally has just gone out the window. It has completely changed, and the goal originally was to pace my friend. That was the only goal that I had. It's crazy how everything worked out and how awesome God is, though. This entire time while I was prepping for the half marathon, and I came off my marathon about 2 months ago. So marathon 2 months ago, half marathon 4 days ago. Probably I'm going to give myself a little bit of time to recover and really let all my fitness set in. I reached out to my coach after the marathon and said, hey, my friend reached out to me about running this race. I want to do it in 150. And then after that, I kind of talked to my friend a little bit more, and he's like, hey, I would love for you to pace me. So throughout this entire session of training, I have been training to run my PR so that I can be the best pacer possible for my friend. So I've been training just as hard as if I was running the race for myself, but I was actually running the race for my friend. And then all that went out the window. And sometimes that's how life is. We're not always going to be able to do things according to plan. So I thought, dang, well, what's the best way that I could do this to, honor my friend, I guess. He's not able to be here with me just as we originally planned. So I started looking at hotels in Fort Lauderdale. My intention was to go out there and continue to race and just race it and do what I had set out to do originally. And I could not afford a single hotel out there. They were super expensive for one night. So really what I did, I'm gonna lose some of you guys here, and that's okay. I said to God, if you want me to go race this, you will get me there. And then I completely let go of everything. I didn't keep looking for hotels. I didn't, keep looking for Airbnbs or Booking.com, Expedia, all those things. I completely dropped all of it. I did not continue whatsoever. And the next day, I'm telling my dad about it. And as I'm telling my dad about it, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to race this race, because he had known about it. We get a call from my uncle who lives in North Miami. I kid you not, he lived less than half an hour away from the starting line. Do you kind of see where I'm going with this? He called us. We didn't even call him to ask if we could stay there so that I could go race. I didn't ask him that. He didn't call. He had no idea what was happening. He just called to talk to my dad. And that's it. And then my dad just out of the blue was like, hey, could Michael stay with you for a night so that he can go run this race? There was no hesitation in the voice of my uncle. He said, yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I'm sitting there, oh my gosh. This is God. Like, this is a straight God moment. There's no way that this could be anything else. So as I'm sitting there awestruck, starting to think about, wow, this is actually happening. Like, I'm actually about to go race this race. And God got me there. So that was my mindset for the whole week, you know. I kept it in prayer. Hey, you know what, Lord, let me perform at this race. Let me, if this is your will, let it be done, you know. If you want me to do this, let me do this. And he got me there. Saturday, I packed up. I did a shakeout run in the morning. Started driving to Fort Lauderdale. Got there. Picked up my packet, went to my uncle's house, and I went to sleep because the next day was race day. This is where it gets exciting. So that's the whole story of why and how. I was running this race for my friend, but that didn't happen. So now I didn't have a place to stay, and then boom, a place to stay. So everything is just lining up so perfectly. But that's how God works, you know? What I did to prepare for my race was increase my carbohydrate intake. Not anything wild, you know, I didn't sit there eating a bunch of Five Guys cheeseburgers and fries, but I increased my carbohydrate intake, which was really difficult, by the way, because I was on the road. So I was trying to figure out like what I could eat as I'm going. I ended up drinks were literally my best friend. There is this orange juice from this company called Natalie's. I have no idea if they're owned by a bigger company or anything like that. But they make a really good orange juice, and the only ingredient in their orange juice is oranges. So that was like my carbohydrate and sugars while I was driving. I went at a rest stop, got an OJ, kept going. Then I also was a big fan of eating BPN Go bars on my way over there. I think I might have had one. Had some other granola. I had some toast in the morning along with my breakfast. Then later that night, I got to the place where I was supposed to be, and searching for food was a little bit of an issue, so I got Italian, I got pizza. Maybe should have gotten pasta, but you know, that doesn't really matter. The point was that I actually went out and saw my family that lives over there in Miami while all this, so it was really nice. It was really nice. And I think that is a huge factor and contributor of success during races. In my experience, the day before a race, not only are you trying to, you know, consume carbohydrates, you know, really pack things on, but also you should not spend your day stressing. You can't do that. It's going to screw you up the next day. So, spending time with family and loved ones is a great way that I de-stress and just hang out. There's no agenda, there's no productivity, there's no busyness. It's just enjoying life as it is to be enjoyed. So I did that. Then I went over to my uncle's, started wrapping up, and started going to sleep because I had to wake up at 3 in the morning for race day. I think I went to bed like around 8 o'clock. I can't confirm nor deny that. I can't remember if I'm being honest. Now we're going to fast forward to the execution. Okay? On race day, you have your nutrition prior and you have your nutrition on race day. These things go together. They coincide. So if all your nutrition on this day was done, but before your race you're not giving any mind to nutrition, it might not be smart. Especially if you're going out for a big effort. If you're going out for a big effort, you're gonna want fuel. It's like a car. If your car has no gas in it, it's not gonna go. It is that simple, okay? Before the race, I drank 2 scoops of BPN strawberry electrolytes. I had a bagel, cinnamon raisin, just in case you're wondering. Is there any magic in a cinnamon raisin versus a regular bagel? No, I just like how it tastes. Honey, and I can't tell you how much honey I really had, I'm gonna be honest, maybe a tablespoon or two. That's my guesstimate. All I know is that honey is really easily digestible, has plenty of carbs and plenty of sugars, and it helps me feel good. That is something huge. Your pre-race nutrition might look different than your friend Joe's, okay? It is what makes you feel good. That is what matters. It is not about doing what's optimal, because what's optimal might not always be optimal for you. Just like when it comes to gels, everyone uses different gels. Why? Because everyone reacts differently to different things. We're not all the same. Had that honey, and I had a banana as well. And after that banana, I consumed about half of a BPN Go Bar. If you guys have not tried the Go Bar yet, you guys need to try the Go Bar, because those things are, they're so good. I genuinely enjoy eating them, not just for training. Like if I could just eat them for a snack, I would. And you're like, well, you can't eat them just for a snack. Listen, they only come 12 in a pack, and I'm not trying to go bankrupt here. So I gotta limit myself, but they are genuinely fantastic, and honestly, I always feel super good after eating them. After that nutrition was locked in, I think I drank about 32 ounces of water in total. That is included with the BPN strawberry electrolyte mix that I made. Got dressed, got ready to go. We took the drive out there. I actually met some incredible people. Their names are Paige and Pete. They are remarkable people, and I'm gonna share more about their story actually later, especially Mr. Pete. Mr. Pete, if you're watching this, you are such an inspiration. I thought about you multiple times during this race, and you are awesome. And Paige, if you're watching this, thanks for supporting. You're a friend that I made that morning, and your support really helped me push through at the end there, which we'll get to that. Getting there, warmed up, bathroom, talking to Paige and Pete, just learning more about their stories. Now it's time to get ready to race. This is where the execution takes place. Everything that you've built over here, training, nutrition, all that stuff is all funneling to right here, race day, the moment when it is go time. Standing there, getting ready to run, then it starts. The pre-race adrenaline is so intense. I ran slower than I wanted to at the beginning. I went out and I felt like my heart was going to just pop out of my chest. Like I felt my blood flowing through my whole body. I was like, what the heck is happening right now? This adrenaline is so much. So I actually went out at an 8:40 pace. Not ideal, especially not because in order to hit 150, you have to be running an 8:24 pace. Not ideal, but I think it helped me, because after that 8:40 pace, I ran maybe an 8:30 in the second mile. My adrenaline started to wear off, and then I started to dial in and lock in, which was awesome. So mile 3, we went even faster, 8:15, and slowly but surely, negative splits throughout the whole race. I'll put them right here actually. Boom! Those are my splits. No, I negative split the whole race, which was great, except for mile 11, when there was a turnaround point and the wind started to blow. I'm gonna get to mile 11, all right? We have to go through the other miles first. Miles 3 through 8 were great. Not a lot of wind, good ideal temperatures, and again, slowly but surely I'm picking up my pace. Mile 8 was kind of the turning point for me in this race. Now, I'm not talking turning point physically, like not I was feeling good and now I was feeling bad. What I mean was, it was a turning point up here in my head. When I got to mile 7, I said, all right, cool. I got X miles left. 6 to be exact. And then I told myself, when I get to mile 8, I'm going to look at my watch as little as possible because I felt good. My watch did not need to tell me how to race. My body was going to tell me how to race. My legs were going to tell me how to race. And my mind, well, actually my mind's not going to tell me how to race because the mind wants to quit. So after mile 8, I stopped looking at my watch and I kept going. I think after mile 8, I looked at my watch maybe a total of 3 to 4 times for the rest of the race. I tried to focus on moving, focusing on turning my legs over, focusing on getting down the pavement, down the road, instead of focusing on, all right, what does my watch say? Or, oh, what does my watch say now? What about now? Oh, what about now? Instead of focusing on that, I focused on everything else. How do I feel? What is this feeling like? Can I sustain this? Things like that. We're running, and miles 8 through 10 were nice. I wasn't focused on my watch, and I was not focused on anything except moving my legs and locking in. That was crucial for me. Now we're gonna get to the turnaround point. So at the end of mile 10, going into mile 11, there was a turnaround point in the race. And it was funny because it was something that I had asked for previously, but then it kind of went against me. And I'm not talking about the turnaround point. Before the race had started, I talked to Paige and Pete, and I was telling them, we are by the coast. Hopefully we get a breeze. That turning point sent us into a big breeze. Not a little breeze, a big breeze. It felt like you were like, like against the wind. It felt like you were like trying to like crawl through the wind. You're fighting the wind the entire time. So I'm like, all right, this sucks. This wind sucks. This is not what I meant when I was talking about the breeze, okay? And funny enough, since there was that turnaround point, miles 8, 9, 10, the turnaround point, 11, 12, 13, they were like side by side. So there were runners coming this way and runners going that way like that, right? I'm on mile 11 and I'm focusing on my legs, not my watch. I'm focusing on my breathing. I'm focusing on everything. And then, boom, I start to feel the pain cave. I start to enter the pain cave. My legs start to hurt a little bit, and I was not too thrilled by that. I almost started focusing on the pain cave instead of the race. When I tell you that God has perfect timing, it's on a macro and a micro scale. As I started to focus on the pain cave, Paige was on the other side running. So she's coming this way and I'm going this way. Because I told her about my goal. And she said, oh yeah, you're going to be ahead of me. But it was perfect timing. I kid you not. As I was coming down like this and going up like that, I'm starting to think about the pain cave. And I hear out of nowhere, yeah, Michael, go Michael. And I look around and I see Paige running by on their side and I'm like, yeah, Paige, yeah, let's get it. I'm so stoked. It was like a second wind of adrenaline. I was like, that is the cue right there. That's the sign. That's, hey, pain cave right now, don't think about that. You're in it, but don't think about it. Go, run, move those legs. Go, 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 go. Mile 11 to 12, we kept going. Mile 12 to 13, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going at a very, very moderately uncomfortable pace right now. And I'm holding it nicely. Honestly, the next half that I do, I know for a fact I can go faster than that. I can get a little bit more uncomfortable, for sure. But this uncomfortable pace was starting to get to me. I'm like, okay, let's keep going. I'm ready for this race to be over. I'm ready for this race to be over. I see the finish line. I look at my watch to see how far it is because I can see it with my eyeballs. And I'm like, okay, it's about 0.3, 0.2 away. My legs were telling me to stop. but my mind was telling me to go. So that's what we did. It's a full send right here. I have to just send it. I have to shoot. I can see it with my eyes. I have to go. And my legs, again, were telling me no, but my mind was telling me yes. My legs were like, no, we don't want to do this. And they didn't want to do this, but I didn't listen to my legs, and I kept going. Boom, finish line, cross. What a race that I just had. I met my goal and I crushed my goal. The final split for like the .1 was 6:11, and I did catch a glimpse of my watch as I was running past the finish line. The final like pace that I had when I was running towards the end there was I was a 5:55 pace, which was awesome. I didn't hold it for long, but it was awesome to be able to finish strong, especially after a long race like that. My fastest mile of the whole race was mile 12 to 13, and then that .10 afterwards is technically that 6:11 split because it's part of the race. And the race was done. I stood around for a little bit. I walked and made sure that I watched Paige finish, because something that they had in common with me was that this race was really last minute, and I did not have anybody there like supporting or watching. So when Paige cheered for me at that point where I was entering the pain cave, it was rejuvenating because there was no one else out there saying, yeah, Michael, you got this. And I'm not saying that I need that, but if you race, you know that when you hear someone chanting for you, it gives you life. Like some life goes back into you after this long, grueling process that you're going through. And it was exactly what I needed. Again, God's timing is perfect. So I wanted to be that for Paige as well. So I stayed back and I got maybe a little bit down the finish line, and when I saw her, I started cheering to make sure that she felt the same support. That's what the sport of running is about. It's about being there for people and everyone putting their best foot forward. That's why I love running. I love the togetherness. I love how everyone's cheering for each other. Everyone's rooting for each other. It is a sport that truly embodies community, even though it's a sport that everyone does by themselves. It has some of the most community I've ever seen. I've made friends through running, and what's crazy is those friends that I've made through running don't even live in the same city as me. They don't even live in the same state as me, but we bonded over something like running. And it's truly a privilege, and I'm super grateful to God that I'm in this position to be able to use my legs to do these amazing things. I feel blessed, and I hope and pray that me sharing my half marathon PR experience helped at least one person. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment or reach out to me. No question is too little, because I know that when I started this journey, I wanted people to be there for any questions that I had. And I want to be there for you guys, because that's something that this race has truly shown me, this weekend has truly shown me, is this is what God put me here for. And it's not to run races. That's not what He put me here for. But it is to help people achieve their best. That is my purpose. That's everything that I have. Again, I hope someone was helped by me sharing this experience. God is good. I am going to go, I don't know, probably edit this video. It's really cold out here. It's Florida. And I'm wearing sandals right now. I'm wearing Birkenstocks. My toes are freezing. My toes are freezing. Stay tuned, guys. Run club to come, and community is to be built. Thank you for watching. Is this thing on? Hello? Hello?